Okay, Mormons, this is Travis Wayne Goodsell. Before my run, I finished a quick video about Nelson's children being satanic, devil, sex fiend, pedophiliacs with their lawsuit. And I was under the impression that it was this year, but while I was out on my run, the Spirit, not the Holy Ghost, Mormons, the Spirit notified me to say, no, it was 2019, not 2020. And double checking as I'm doing this video as a result, yes, it was 2019. And so, yeah, let's see. It was let me go redo the whole article or redo the whole video for you. Alright, KUTV2 in their article, Judge denies early depositions in sex abuse case involving LDS church president's family. This is by Mackenzie Stauffer, Wednesday, January 16th, 2019. I had previously thought it was 2020. So that's why I was going, hey, my lawsuit isn't getting a response by the judge for denying my motions. But yeah, tonight at midnight is the deadline for Judge First to reply. And if she doesn't make it, boom, 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 I am the winner. And church is destroyed. They will be forced to give up the church one way or the other, either giving me the keys or giving me a check, since Equifax gypped me on $2 they owed me. And I guess technically we shouldn't use the word gypped because it's racist, referring to the European gypsies in the early 16th, 17th, 18th century. It's way past my, or way before my time. So, whatever. Alright, here we go. Mackenzie reports a motion to speed up the deposition process in a case involving the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you know, the Mormons. Shout out to the Radio from Hell show with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. Miss you guys. Has been denied. The lawyers who are representing 6 people accusing President Nelson's relatives, and it's in red, which means the link is no longer provided. And this is what led me to this, was because a person commented about this case and wondered why nothing more was being talked about it. And I'll get to that, because now that it's 2019, that this case was not 2020, I now understand why. So my reply is here, even though I already responded with this link. So I hope you come back to this video to get your answer. And then District Judge Jill N. Parrish has denied the motion, stating the plaintiff did not provide enough evidence to support its case. And the plaintiff's arguments was a little weak, so I kind of agree with the judge on this one. They're saying that Nelson's old, as he just got put in, and therefore it needs to be a speedy deposition, Otherwise, he's going to die, and we're not going to get his testimony in this courtroom. Sorry, but that's not sufficient reasoning. There's no telling when he's going to die. And so I know they've done that with Monson, trying to depose him, and because of his old age. But that seems to be a working trick for the church, to put old men in leadership positions so that they can die soon, and thus drag on court cases until after they're dead, which saves the church. My lawsuit settles that problem by going after the whole organization. So it doesn't matter if Nelson dies and Oakes takes over, or someone else takes over, which isn't likely to happen because in 1923 they made it so that the president of the Quorum of the 12, as per the criminal organization structure, is to take over the church. Nelson's daughter and son-in-law, Richard and Brenda Miles, are accused of running a satanic, ritualistic sex ring in Bountiful. I also linked another lady who had commented saying, why don't you talk about the Nelson's satanic rituals of sacrificing babies in the basement of the Salt Lake Temple? This is where you got it from. It has nothing to do with the basement of the Salt Lake Temple. It was in the homes in Bountiful. And it would have been on the mountainside because they would have been rich. And so this would be up in Elder Irene's area, or President Irene's area, where I dated Kimberly and went to his ward. And he wasn't there during the weeks that I was attending with Kimberly. Yeah, I know where he lives, and Kimberly even called Sister Irene to try to get Elder Irene's attention. I guess it was President Irene back then too. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, it might have been, because Hinckley took over in 95 and had Irene as his counselor. So, yeah. He was president of the first presidency, or president in the first presidency then. But yeah, she was trying to help me with my Paleo-Hebrew. I miss Kimberly. I hope she got married to somebody, and then her ex leaves her alone. Yeah, this was at their home up in the Bountiful mountainside, where the Bountiful Temple is, just a couple of blocks away from Elder Irene. And I have a story about my mother and President Irene, who was Elder Irene of the 70, who was responsible for finding temple sites. And he was in California at a banquet with my mom, and my mom was looking to move because I was out of the house, and Todd was off to BYU, and I think Tiffany was even off to BYU. And Terrell-Lynn was soon to follow if she wasn't off at BYU. And my mom turned to him and said, so you planning to build a temple anywhere around here? Because she wanted to be near a temple for her retirement. And Irene responded to her by saying, there are millions of people around the world who have to walk to the temple and sell all that they have to get there, and they're barefoot, going uphill in the snow both ways. That kind of answer. And so my mom, being the white supremacist that she is, understood his response to be no. And so then at the conference that soon followed, and my mom, I think, says 2 weeks later, sure enough, they announce a temple in Bountiful, just a couple of blocks away from Elder Eyring. So, yeah. But, yeah. And so, in the mid-1980s was when this occurred. So, back to the 80s, back to satanic ritual, sexting, and pedophilia. Because, yeah, it involves a 1-year-old. The allegations of sex abuse accuse the couple of holding touching parties and sexually abusing kids as young as 1 year old. Oh, man. Utah Supreme Court is currently reviewing the statute of limitations and the case. And so this is why I'm going to have to give the reply here. Neither Nelson nor the church is named as defendants in this 79-page lawsuit filed in federal court. Hey, no! Okay, let's get the other page set up. Richard and lawsuit v. Richard and Brenda Miles. Lawsuit v. Richard and Brenda Miles. There's somebody on Reddit saying, has anybody heard of the updates? And there's the 2019. Yeah, that's the oldest. Let's try federal lawsuit. Come on, give us the filing, guys. Let's try PDF. Oh, man. Okay. 4 hours ago. Brenda Miles, Wendy, no, not the same one. 3 days ago. That's 2015. Brenda Miles. She's a plaintiff in this case. Richard A. Rothschild. What's going on here? Consolidation? Huh. This could get weirder and weirder as we go along. So apparently Brenda Miles is not in prison. She's filed a lawsuit as a plaintiff, and then there's somebody else, Dane ... So this is interesting. So we're on a journey. Okay, docket number 213 CV01817. And this is the opinion. It's against David Wesley. Pending judge? Los Angeles. They went to Los Angeles? No, this is Utah. United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. Where is Brenda and Dane Sullivan? She remarried? She formed a non-profit. This confirms my suspicion. A non-profit corporation People organized for West Side Renewal, a nonprofit corporation, independent living center of Southern California. She moved to Southern California because she couldn't stay in Utah because of the shame. Oh, wow, this is fascinating. And Judge Nugent, I can never pronounce the Asian languages. I have to have somebody tell me. We had Nugents in the branch in the Bronx or Brooklyn in Flatbush on my mission. I wonder how they're doing. Interesting. And she's suing a Rothschild. Interesting. Okay. Alright, well this isn't getting me to the answer. Okay. Let me try this. Got it up on the screen. And so let me bring up the document. Oh, nope, I need document, not the... I downloaded it from Scribd. Record delegation to Ukraine. Travis William Goodsell. Motion denied. Here we go. And open. There we go. Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2. Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2? Why did you repeat those? Let's do this. And then come back to this. And then do this. Motion denied. 19. That's the Scribd one. What is it called? I think it's called Pacer, so let's do Pacer at the end of this. Jane Doe v. Richard and Brenda. Trying to find the federal docket. It was a federal filing, therefore there should be a federal docket. It's got BCW. That should be the other judge, I think, but let me... No, that's... trying to figure out how to find it. Let's try it without the case number. And then Pacer. Pace monitor et al. Doe 1. There it is. Found it. Found it. That's from, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, with the little mouse who ruined Christmas, offending Santa Claus. Brooke C. Wells. Joe Parrish. So, yep, I found it. Friday, August 2nd, 2019. Order staying the case. Case is stayed pending the issuance of a decision in case before the Utah Supreme Court. And the Utah Supreme Court is sitting on it. Now, since August 2nd. September. Gaddy v. COP got filed right after this. Yes. Yes. It's all fitting together now. Okay. Reassigned to Magistrate Judge Cecilia M. Romero. No longer assigned to the case. Brooke C. Wells is not assigned to the case. Okay. Oh, man. But my judge is not involved. Neither of the judges are involved. And so, yeah, Gaddy v. COP was filed the Monday after this, on the 5th of August. Wow. Nice timing. And then mine was filed on September 30th. So, boom, boom, boom. So, wow. The Utah Supreme Court. Oh, man. All Mormons. That's why they're sitting on it for all these months. And they're probably going to wait until this year's session to decide. And mine's already settled. I won because Judge First refused to respond and thus took responsibility as the defense counsel. And thus I argued my case for a summary judgment. Wow, okay. Now we know the answer here. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'll put this link for all of you who are wondering about it. And have I mentioned everything? Yeah. Okay. And just a reminder, tonight at midnight is Judge First's last opportunity to file a response for my summary judgment motion. If not, then I have already prepared from the federal rules as to what to do next. So Monday, after the Super Bowl, after Fast and Testimony Super Bowl. Alright, there's mine. Tuesday 21st. Nope, still has my motion. She has not responded. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Oh man, that is awesome. Okay, let's do a copy and paste just in case something goes wrong. We'll add it to the other link of the news story. Nelson Kids Pedophilia. Alrighty. We are secure. We have the technology. We have the capability. So that's what happened, guys. the Supreme Court of Utah is going to decide whether President Russell M. Nelson, their beloved prophet, seer and revelator, not translator, because they don't have the keys. Brigham Young didn't steal those from Joseph. And so when I come along and I'm deciphering Paleo-Hebrew, we better abuse Travis and violate his rights so that he will one day sue us and win and take away the church from us. That's what happens, guys. Consequences. If you do something bad, consequences will follow. It's not do what is right, let the consequence follow, and do not something bad and the consequences won't follow. It's not a double standard. It's the laws of physics. So, wow. Okay. That explains it. Alrighty, so yeah. Nelson's link to pedophilia. It's not accusing him. So those of you who think that Christy Allen went to the UK, gave her lecture saying there was child satanic sacrifices in the basement of the Salt Lake Temple. No. It's this lawsuit. Doe 1 et al. V. Miles et al. And it has to do with his children. And I'm willing to bet they were in attendance when he became president, because this was filed on October 2nd, 2018. That long ago? Case has been indexed and assigned to Judge Joe Parrish. Tuesday, October 2nd. Wednesday, October 3rd. So, yeah, this was 2018. So this was during or after if the first was Monday, they would have had conference on the 8th and 9th, or 7th and 8th of October 2018. So this was the week before conference that they filed the lawsuit against Nelson. And so he'd already done his damage, taking away the high priesthood, taking away the missionary program. And this conference in October was the one where he took away half of Sunday school. So he was dumbing down the Mormons, giving them less information about the scriptures. Yeah. Filing fee of $400. I got Informa Pauperis. Dr. Whitehead? I know Dr. Whitehead. Evil. And then they have other declarations from the others, and then a mother of one of them. Ooh. Ouch. Wow. Yeah, so this was not done in the temple basement. This was done in people's homes. Oh, man. And this was done way back in the mid-'80s. So they're finally getting around to it. Oh, I should, before I go, explain to you all why there is no statute of limitations, and the Utah Supreme Court must allow the deposition of Nelson, unless they argue on the grounds of the judge's argument that there's no telling when he's going to die. If it's for deposing the president, it's another issue. But we all understand that the punishment for a crime must match the crime itself. The reason for that is in the Constitution. No cruel and unusual punishments. if you have an excessive punishment beyond what the crime was, then that's a cruel and unusual punishment, and the person can appeal on those grounds that it violates the Constitution Amendment. And so what happens with a sex abuse case? The person goes to prison for a period of time, depending on the severity, and they are put on a sex offender registry for the rest of their life. A sex offense is a lifetime sentence. Now, if that's too extreme, that's one thing. However, current practice is that sex offenses are a lifetime sentence. And so, therefore, it must match the crime. Therefore, follow me here, there is no statute of limitations on sex abuse, because the punishment already puts people on a sex offender registry for the rest of their life. It's a lifetime sentence. Therefore, there cannot be statute of limitations. See how easy that is? So those who are arguing in this case, I hope you're listening, because that's how you argue. Don't come up with, he might die, we don't know, so therefore side on our favor. No. The guy who worked for, or owned movie buffs here in Utah, that the mother was offended that her child picked up a cover case that belonged in the beaded curtain section, and sued him, and he lost his wife, his life, he lost everything, including the business. That's why movie buffs are gone. And I heard him when I was in the video store one midnight, and he was talking to the clerk on duty in the back office with the door open so I could hear. And he was talking about how he didn't even want the beaded curtain stuff in his stores. It was something he had to do because of the corporation that he was subject to in Utah. And his lawyers argued that there was a Sharon Stone movie, Basic Instinct, where it portrayed sex in an R-rated movie. And that was their argument, is that, hey, these other movies are inappropriate for children and they're in the public domain, not behind the beaded curtain. Dumb. And so they lost the case. For good reason. I mean, that's not how you argue. But they should have referred to the Supreme Court, Miller, as I did my pornography video yesterday, as I got to it, and hour long. That's why I was telling you guys. It's a biggie. Porn is big here in Utah. You argue based upon the Supreme Court ruling. Number 3, for artistic merit. And that's how you claim victory, is that the materials are beaded, they're not secured behind a lock because of the Supreme Court ruling, but because of community standards, they're in a beaded section and require an ID for rental. And that's how they should have argued it, is that there is no harm or danger to the community or to the child if the child had been properly educated by their mother, and they would have won that case. Maybe not in Utah, but they could have appealed it up to the Supreme Court and won. And so that would have shut Utah down. So shame on his lawyers for not knowing the law. But is that the thing I was going to talk about? I don't think so. Oh man, I'm going to kick myself if I remember after I end this video and begin uploading it. It's not coming to me. Come on, Spirit. Inspire me. Bring it to memory like you did on my run. I would stop it, rewind it, and figure out what I was trying to think of. Maybe I should do that. And then oh man, there's so much to talk about. I know it had something to do. Oh no, I did cover it. It's how they should argue in the case. Whew. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's how they should argue. Is that because of the crime must fit the punishment, and that the crime or the punishment must fit the crime, and since the punishment is already established for all sex offenders to be put on the sex offender registry, therefore all sex offender cases that are found guilty have no statute of limitations. Therefore, all cases of accusation of sexual assault or crime have no statute of limitations either. And so use that argument, guys. Use the law and it will help you. The truth shall set you free. The law shall set you free. Because the judges cannot argue against the law. If you try to create a precedent, the judges can say, no, there's no precedent for that. We're not going to allow that precedent. And you lose. So argue based on laws and established precedents, and you'll win your case. And law trumps precedents. And law trumps precedents. That's how I won my case. I used the federal law, followed the law, followed the procedures, did all on my part, and they refused to reply. And so I won in accordance with their own laws. If they don't reply, they concede. And I filed the motion for summary judgment on the basis that they failed to respond to my motion of recusal, which they were required to do within 10 days. And because they failed to do that, they then conceded that they were the defense counsel for the church and working as the judges in the case. Thus a conflict of interest justifying recusal, and they conceded to that. And so I filed for the summary judgment based upon the fact that as conceding to being the defense counsel for the church, they therefore accepted on behalf of the church my complaint. So it was served to the church through the judges who conceded that they were acting on behalf of the church. See how simple it is when you follow the law. And midnight tonight, they turn into a pumpkin. Pumpkin. We're gonna make pumpkin pie. And bake the seeds. That is good. Add some kind of salt flavoring. Good stuff. Good old days when my white supremacist mother actually did something good. Alright. But I love the mac and cheese commercial where the one boy goes over his mom's cooking. That's what I did. So that my mom never experimented with new foods. It had to be the staples. Hot dogs, mac and cheese. So, yes, that's why I bond with that commercial. Just hilarious. But yeah, Mormons, consequences follow. If you're going to do bad things, you're going to take down the church with you. So, wow, this is awesome. Okay, I'll put this one up instead. I hope the others of you who commented come back to this video and see. And this is awesome.